Welcome to my Kastellorizo travel guide, where I'll share everything you need to know before visiting this beautiful and peaceful Greek island. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video if you find it helpful, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more travel guides from around the world. If you have any questions or need more information, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'm happy to help. Kastellorizo, the easternmost island of Greece, is known for its colorful neoclassical harbor and its tranquil charm far from the typical tourist crowds. Nestled just 2 kilometers off the Turkish coast, it holds significant historical importance due to its strategic location and rich Byzantine and Ottoman past. The island's rugged coastline, sea caves like the famous Blue Grotto, and deep blue waters make it a paradise for nature lovers. While small in size, Kastellorizo offers a unique mix of Greek island serenity, historical sites like the Castle of the Knights, and a friendly, laid-back atmosphere. My visit here felt like stepping back in time, with peaceful walks along the harbor, warm conversations with locals, and stunning sunsets over the Aegean Sea. To reach Kastellorizo, I flew into Antalya Airport in Turkey, then drove to the coastal town of Kaş, where I caught a short 20-minute ferry across the narrow strait to the island. This route was scenic and surprisingly easy, offering beautiful coastal views along the way. Alternatively, travelers can fly from Rhodes directly to Kastellorizo's small airport, which operates regular domestic flights. There are also ferry connections from Rhodes and even Athens, though the journey takes longer and is ideal for those who enjoy sea travel. Private yachts often dock at the charming harbor too, adding to the island's quiet yet cosmopolitan feel. Getting around Kastellorizo is simple and stress-free. From the airport, taxis and small airport shuttles transport you to the town center within minutes. Most of the island is walkable, and I enjoyed exploring the narrow streets and scenic coastline entirely on foot. For more freedom, some travelers rent bicycles or scooters, and sea taxis are available for reaching nearby coves or islets. I also took a small boat tour that gave me a stunning view of the island from the water and took me into the magical Blue Grotto. Before visiting Kastellorizo, it's helpful to know that the local currency is the euro and Greek is the official language, although English is widely understood in tourist areas. As an EU citizen, I didn't need a visa, which made travel very smooth and hassle-free. For Turkish citizens, there is a special short-stay visa option that allows visits to Kastellorizo and other nearby Dodecanese islands. Respect for local customs is important here. Dressing appropriately in religious sites and greeting locals warmly goes a long way. I found the island's culture to be deeply traditional but welcoming, and it truly enhanced the authenticity of my experience. Starting my journey at Kastellorizo Harbour, I was immediately captivated by the colorful neoclassical houses reflecting in the calm water, setting a postcard-perfect scene. Visiting the famous blue cave Phókiali was one of the highlights, where I entered by boat and watched the sunlight turn the water an unbelievable shade of glowing blue. I also explored Navlakas Bay, a quiet spot perfect for a peaceful swim, where I had the entire bay to myself. Old French Road felt like stepping back in time, with remnants of history lining the peaceful trail. The cliff of Nikitas offered stunning views while passing through the boat tour. A short boat trip took me to St. George's Island and beach, where I enjoyed a quiet afternoon swimming and sunbathing at a secluded spot. I visited St. George at Pigadi Orthodox Church, a charming little church tucked away in a quiet corner, perfect for a reflective break. As a fan of cinema, seeing the house from the movie Mediterraneo was a nostalgic moment, imagining scenes from the iconic film. I also stopped by Atelier sculpture painting Alexander Zygouris, an inspiring little art space where I met the artist himself and admired his vivid works. In the heart of town, the small chapel in the town center was a peaceful surprise, beautifully simple yet full of character. At Plateia Ethelondon Kastellorizo Volunteers Square, I relaxed under the shade and watched daily life unfold, with locals greeting each other and children playing. I admired the architecture of the Church of St. George of Santrape, a serene and lesser visited spot. The Church of St. Spyridon with its tall bell tower also stood out during my walks through the town. One of the grandest sights was the Holy Metropolitan Church of Saints Constantine and Helen, where the intricate details of the interior left me in awe. Climbing up to the Castle of the Knights was a sweaty but rewarding challenge, with panoramic views over the island and harbour. Nearby, the Ottoman Hammam next to the castle told a different story of the island's multicultural past. I visited the mysterious Lycian tomb, carved directly into the rock, an incredible link to ancient history just a short walk from the harbour. At Mandraki Bay, I enjoyed a more local feel, with fishing boats bobbing and cats lounging lazily in the sun. I visited the modest church of St. Nicholas and St. Dimitrios, hidden among houses and filled with a sense of timeless peace. Exploring the Archaeological Museum of Kastellorizo helped me better understand the island's fascinating blend of Greek, Ottoman, and Italian influences. From the viewpoint of islands and cache, I marveled at the sight of the nearby Turkish coastline just across the shimmering sea. A walk to Faros Point, where the old lighthouse stands, provided a dramatic sunset view I'll never forget. The Kastellorizo Folk Art Museum Kavos Mosque, housed in a former mosque, was a beautifully curated space showcasing everyday island life from the past. Finally, wandering among the many other churches and historical sites scattered across the hillside and mountain tops gave me a deep sense of Kastellorizo's spiritual and cultural soul, each little white chapel adding to the island's quiet magic. One of the best things I did in Kastellorizo was dive into the crystal-clear waters that were so transparent, I could see every pebble beneath me. Snorkeling among colorful fish and vibrant marine life felt like swimming in an underwater painting. I embarked on a small boat tour that took me around hidden coves and secret sea caves, giving me a different perspective of the island's beauty. Kayaking along the rocky coastline was an unforgettable adventure, paddling past sheer cliffs and tiny beaches. I even spent a morning fishing with some friendly locals, who showed me traditional techniques and shared their fresh catch. Sunbathing on the natural rocky platforms felt peaceful and raw, with nothing but the sound of the sea around me. While floating in the water, I spotted a few sea turtles gracefully gliding by, a magical encounter I'll never forget. Visiting local museums helped me understand the deep history and culture of the island, from ancient times to modern days. I loved wandering through old ruins, imagining the many civilizations that once called this island home. The historical architecture was everywhere, beautiful old stone houses, colorful facades, and ornate churches telling silent stories. I listened to fascinating local legends shared by tavern owners and shopkeepers, stories passed down through generations. I visited a few small art galleries where local artists displayed beautiful works inspired by the island's nature and history. Hiking scenic trails led me to incredible panoramic views that made every step worth it. I also explored coastal paths that twisted along the cliffs, offering breathtaking sea views at every turn. Photography was a joy here, with stunning vistas appearing at every corner, especially during the golden hours of sunrise and sunset. Savoring the local cuisine was another highlight. Fresh seafood, homemade pies, and flavorful salads made every meal a delight. Enjoying seaside dining with the sound of gentle waves in the background was one of the simplest but richest pleasures. I spent time browsing at local markets, where handmade crafts, honey, and herbs made perfect souvenirs. Shopping for souvenirs was always a fun experience, with unique, authentic items rather than mass-produced goods. I loved taking slow breaks at cafes, sipping coffee and people watching in the warm afternoon sun. Indulging in local sweets, especially syrupy pastries, added a delicious sweetness to my walks. Engaging in friendly conversations with locals made me feel genuinely welcome and part of the community, even if only for a few days. Finally, just getting lost in the narrow cobblestone streets, without a map or plan, turned into some of the most beautiful moments of my trip. Experiencing Kastellorizo's local culture was one of the highlights of my trip, especially the laid-back island life and the genuine warmth of the locals. If you're lucky enough to visit during one of their religious festivals, like the celebration of St. Constantine and Helen in May, you'll witness lively music, dancing, and traditional food shared among the community. I found it important to greet locals with a friendly calamera good morning and to show respect, especially when entering churches or photographing public spaces. While the island is small, the cultural pride runs deep, and just sitting at a cafe chatting with locals gave me a sense of their history and hospitality. It's a quiet island, but the small details, from hand-painted fishing boats to family-run tavernas, make the cultural experience rich and personal. Kastellorizo is a year-round destination, but each season offers something different depending on what you're looking for. I visited in late spring when the weather was pleasantly warm, the sea was calm, and the island wasn't crowded, perfect for relaxed exploration. Summer brings peak tourism and hot days ideal for swimming and boating, though it can get busy during Greek holiday periods. Autumn is quieter, with mild temperatures and fewer tourists, making it a great time for a peaceful getaway. Winter is the calmest and most isolated season, with many businesses closed, but it's a unique time to experience the island like a local. Compared to other European countries and popular Greek islands like Santorini or Mykonos, Kastellorizo is relatively affordable, though prices can still feel high due to its remote location. I found food at local tavernas reasonably priced, with fresh seafood dishes around €12 or 15 and snacks like souvlaki or gyros under €5. Accommodation ranged from boutique guest houses to more basic rooms, with mid-range options around €60-90 per night. Activities like boat tours or sea taxi rides add to the cost, but they're worth it for the unique experiences. What's noticeably pricier is getting to the island itself, due to limited transport options, but once there, daily expenses felt manageable. Yes, Kastellorizo does offer several budget-friendly options if you plan wisely. I stayed in a modest guest house near the harbour that was comfortable and cost-effective, and there are several rooms for rent at local homes too. For meals, you can grab pastries or sandwiches from small bakeries, which made for cheap and tasty breakfasts or lunches. Walking around the island is free and scenic, and I especially enjoyed the hike up to the castle ruins and watching the sunset, no cost, but unforgettable views. Sea taxis and boat tours are more affordable than private tours, and if you're traveling with friends, sharing a boat can make it even cheaper. When visiting Kastellorizo, I found that casual, lightweight clothing is perfect for the warm spring and summer months, while a light jacket or sweater is useful in the cooler evenings of autumn and winter. Comfortable shoes are essential, especially for walking around the cobbled streets or hiking up to the castle. When entering churches or religious sites, I made sure to dress modestly, covering shoulders and knees, as a sign of respect. Swimwear is fine at the beach or on boats, but it's best to cover up when walking through town. Overall, the island has a relaxed dress code, but locals appreciate modest and respectful clothing choices, especially in traditional areas. The main area of Kastellorizo is its harbour town, also known as Megisti, where nearly everything happens. I stayed right by the waterfront, where colourful neoclassical houses line the shore, and local tavernas, cafes, and small shops are all within walking distance. This is where most visitors spend their time, soaking up the peaceful atmosphere and watching boats glide in and out. Key spots to visit include the Castle of the Knights, the Archaeological Museum, and the beautiful Blue Cave, which I explored by boat. Despite its small size, the town centre offers a perfect blend of history, charm, and everyday island life. During my stay in Kastellorizo, I enjoyed a variety of traditional Greek dishes, with seafood being the highlight. Grilled octopus and fresh fish were local specialties. One unique dish I tried was stromboli, a local fish pie that isn't found elsewhere in Greece. Many tavernas offered vegan options like stuffed vegetables, lentil soup, and fresh salads with local olive oil. While the island doesn't have a large fine dining scene, some waterfront restaurants provided elegant meals in a romantic setting. Street food isn't very common, but bakeries sell delicious spinach pies, cheese pastries, and sweet treats perfect for a quick snack. Shopping in Kastellorizo is all about finding local, handcrafted items that reflect the island's character. I picked up handmade soaps, olive oil products, and traditional embroidery from small family-run shops near the harbour. Local honey and herbs made great gifts to take home, and I also found beautifully painted ceramic pieces that captured the island's charm. Prices were fair, and while bargaining isn't typical here, shopkeepers were friendly and sometimes offered small discounts. Everything I bought felt authentic and meaningful, making souvenir shopping a lovely part of the experience. Most accommodations in Kastellorizo are centered around the charming harbour area, where I stayed in a cozy boutique hotel with stunning sea views and easy access to restaurants and shops. The island offers a range of options, from luxury guest houses in restored neoclassical buildings to simpler, budget-friendly studios and Airbnb apartments. I loved the personal touches at the family-run places, where the hosts were incredibly welcoming and shared great local tips. There are no big resorts here, which keeps the experience intimate and authentic. Whether you're after a romantic stay or just a quiet place to relax, Kastellorizou's accommodations fit perfectly with the island's tranquil vibe. Nightlife in Kastellorizo is low-key but beautifully atmospheric. Don't expect loud clubs, but do expect memorable evenings. I spent my nights enjoying wine at small harbourfront bars, where locals and visitors gathered to chat under soft lights and Greek music played gently in the background. There are a few cozy bars and traditional Zygouris where you can sip local spirits and enjoy fresh mezz. If you're after a party scene, this isn't the island for it, but for relaxed nights with great company and ocean views, it's perfect. One of my favourite memories was watching the stars from a quiet bench after a glass of wine, simple but unforgettable. Kastellorizo is a small island, so a short stay of 2 to 3 days is enough to see the main sights and experience its charm. That said, I stayed longer and truly appreciated the slower rhythm of the island, morning swims, lazy afternoons by the harbour, and peaceful hikes. It's an ideal place to disconnect, and a longer stay allows you to form connections with locals and really unwind. Many travelers combine it with nearby islands or the Turkish coast, but even a brief visit leaves a lasting impression. If you're looking for a peaceful escape, give yourself time to just be present and enjoy the calm. Kastellorizo felt incredibly safe during my visit. Even as a solo traveler, it's a small, close-knit community where everyone knows each other. I saw many solo women walking around comfortably at night, and the atmosphere was calm and welcoming. There are no known scams or tourist traps here, which is refreshing compared to more commercial destinations. Still, it's always smart to keep an eye on your belongings and follow basic safety practices. In case of emergency, the number to call in Greece is 112, and locals are usually quick to help if needed. Absolutely, Kastellorizo is one of the most peaceful and visually stunning places I've visited in Greece. Its untouched beauty, colourful harbour, and genuine local culture make it feel worlds away from busy tourist hubs. I was struck by how easily I could slow down and enjoy the small things, a quiet breakfast by the sea, a chat with a local fisherman, or a swim in crystal clear waters. It's not for everyone, there's no party scene or big resorts, but if you're looking for authenticity, relaxation, and a hint of nostalgia, Kastellorizo is more than worth it. It's a hidden gem that stays with you long after you leave. Thanks for watching my Kastellorizo travel guide. I hope it helps you plan an amazing trip to this incredible island. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video to support the channel, and make sure to subscribe for more detailed travel content. If you have any more questions or need extra tips, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll be happy to reply.